astrology, and other divinatory arts are not a replacement or substitute for physical or psychiatric health care. If this is an emergency situation or you are in crisis, please do not defer your wellness to readings or horoscopes. Seek situation-appropriate, qualified assistance instead. Hey there, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for July 2022. And just a quick reminder that even though we do have Jupiter turning retrograde at the end of the month, I'm aware of that, we're going to be saving that for one of my special deep dive videos. And so stay tuned, that's coming, but we're not going to be covering it in this forecast. If you are interested in ever getting a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what's going on when it comes to your month of July? Well, we'll start with the Sun, bringing special focus, highlights, attention, enhancement, and support to your 7th house of closest one-on-one connections. This is your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you have your closest one-on-one involvements with, the astrological sign of Cancer, through the 22nd of the month. With the Sun in the 7th house, this is the time where you are noticing a lot of atmospheric, environmental, and systemic shifts going on in the world that all of your closest one-on-one connections exist in. All of them across the board. Romantic, business, platonic, doesn't matter. And this is going to be a time where these transformations are also providing opportunities to live it up, move on up, and step onto what you might consider to be a higher path as far as maybe the road a certain partnership has been taking towards a particular goal or aspiration. This can also be a time where a lot of very sweet bonding opportunities are also presenting, because the Sun in the 7th house always clears away a lot of complications, shadows, or old issues that may in some way, big or small, still have some kind of influence in the way that we carry on our closest one-on-one connections and alliances. And what happens here is that we are returning things to a state of much more wholesome, genuine, sweet simplicity. This is a great time to be reinvigorating your closest one-on-one connections, bringing in a lot more morale, a lot more levity, a lot more joy, a lot more play, but also at the same time connecting and bonding from the core, right? This is a time where we're getting a chance to be kids again with each other, even if we are doing something in terms of business. So, if it's a business partnership and it's not a best friendship or romantic partnership, we're still getting a chance to have fun. We're still getting a chance to go on adventures with each other. Taking yourself too seriously when it comes to these kinds of things, or not allowing yourselves to enjoy this kind of levity, no, that's not necessarily going to make for the most fulfilling alliances and partnerships. So have your fun, because this is going to be a time where a lot of, again, old shadows and old influences dissolve. This is also a time where a lot of you who are single or available, or maybe even looking for new business partnerships or alliances, are going to have those precipitated by the magnetism that is happening here with the Sun as well. After the 22nd, the Sun moves on into Leo for the duration of the month, and going on into August. This is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy, self-employment monies, as well as any kind of economic contributions coming from a business partner or a spouse. And with the Sun in the 8th house, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to get more value or more profit out of all of your non-salary or non-hourly income earnings. Whether this is a side gig, a self-employment project, or maybe a supplemental income program you're working with, such as sales, commissions, tips, incentives, all of that good stuff, you are noticing all of that money on the rise. This is a great time, especially for those of you who have been thinking about maybe going into business for yourself or testing the waters with a potential new business partnership. And you're also going to find that the market, that you are working in, or maybe that you have investments in, or any kind of big financial moves you're looking to make is becoming a lot more friendly to you in the way you need it to be friendly. Whether you need it to be more affordable, more accessible, or more profitable, the sun tends to cover it all. We have Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, that obstacle clearing driving force, entering Taurus July 5th, where Mars will remain through the duration of July and going on into August. With Mars in the 5th house of love, recreation, creativity, as well as parenthood, a lot of you Capricorn people are getting a chance to take a bond or a connection that you have here down a new road that is free of a lot of barriers, obstacles, or blocks to the type of relationship you want to have with a romantic partner, or maybe even a creative pursuit, a talent that you have, or one of your kids. Because Mars makes people all the more courageous, all the more brave, all the more open, all the more adventurous. You may be noticing that these trends are starting to come forward and be experienced and embraced by partners, partner potentials, and your kids as well. Mars is all about making stronger bonds and getting stronger glue for any relationship. However, sometimes what Mars will do is also force us to face issues that stand against it, whether they are issues, habits, lifestyles, or maybe even communication habits that do need to be dealt with first. So there can be, as I call them, constructive collisions, which are occurring at the same time. However, this is all about knocking down barriers and knocking down walls to closeness between romantic partners, new and established, as well as your kids. So make sure that you are also being brave enough not to be conflict avoidant during this time, because these conflicts can bring people closer together. It all just depends on how we conduct ourselves. We have Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection, in Gemini through the 17th of the month. This is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, as well as the services that you offer to the world. And with Venus in the 6th house, this is one of the transits where you are becoming much more well known for a skill, a unique talent, or something that sets you apart from the rest of the people that you share this professional space with, or this artistic space with, or this community space with. Now, this setting yourself apart, deviating, as it were, is a huge asset to you, because with Venus in the 6th house, you are also getting set apart in a way that popularizes a skill that you have, whether this is a skill or service you provide professionally, or something that changes how people receive you in your everyday. This is also a time where you are going to be getting a lot of financial incentive to lean into this change as well. So make sure you are ready to stand out, to be unique, and focus on what sets you apart during the first half of this month, so you can score a lot of these cool new financial and professional opportunities. After the 17th, we've got Venus entering Cancer, that 7th house of closest one-on-one connections, where Venus will be through the duration of the month and going on into August. With Venus in the 7th house, this is a time where a lot of you Capricorn people and your partners or partner potentials are going to get a chance to explore a lot of new love languages together that actually do really, well, work for you. I'll just put it that way. Because with Venus here, there is a lot more of a focus on a bit of indulgence, a bit of, letting your hair down, a little bit of luxury, and maybe to a certain degree, a little bit more risk-taking when it comes to love. However, with Venus, this is all happening in a way that is very satisfying, mutually satisfying, and enhancing to all involved. For those of you who are currently coupled or married, this is definitely one of the transits that can make us feel like we're going on into another honeymoon phase for the next month or even longer. And for those of you who are single or available to new people, you will be attracting somebody into your life that is already on the path to go through this experience as well. When it comes to business partnerships, of course, Venus here is going to be attracting a lot of alliances your way if you're looking to become a business partner, or you're looking to attract a good business partner or collaborator into your life as well. We have Mercury, the planet of communications, speed, and productivity, in the 7th house of partnerships, July 5th through the 19th. Mercury is speeding up the productivity and the profitability of a lot of joint operations that you may have going on in your life, especially when it comes to business partnerships or any kind of alliance where there is maybe a referral or a back and forth going on, some kind of trade. This is also speeding up growth as it relates to the maturation of romantic relationships, especially for those of you that are in newer relationships or starting new relationships. This is also going to be a time where a lot of you are speeding up towards the accomplishment or the completion of a long story or narrative in a romantic circumstance or a romantic relationship. Maybe it's a long narrative in a marriage, a long narrative in a committed relationship. We are speeding this up, or speeding up the fruition or the completion of something that we have pursued so that we can now have it in hand. Mercury in the 7th house will also make a lot of your partnerships all the more productive and industrious and profitable. So be prepared. This could also be a month where you're going to find that your partners are getting a lot more ambitious or a lot more open-minded about getting out there as well. When it comes to the post 19th of July transit, Mercury is moving on into Leo for the duration of July and going on into August. And so this is that 8th house of shared resources and passive income and self-employment monies. And with Mercury in the 8th house, this is speeding up the growth of a lot of small financial projects so that they can mature all the more quickly and become more viable or become insanely more profitable by the time we get to the end of the year. Mercury tends to give everything a shot of espresso. And so you may be finding that even small pursuits or part-time gigs or little hobbies you've thought to monetize are actually picking up traction very, very quickly. Those of you who are thinking about starting a new business, or you've already gone into, getting something set up, or you've started a new business for yourself or set up a new income avenue for yourself, are going to find that contrary to what might be considered conventional or normal, you're having a very cool anomalous experience where your business is making a much bigger impression, or your side income avenues are expanding and producing more wealth a lot more quickly than you could have estimated. To close up, we've got a full moon in your sign on the 13th of the month, right? We always end with our lunations. And a full moon in your sign is bringing culminations, transitions, and endings, as they always do. But with a full moon in your sign, it's opening up a 2-week window period between the 13th of July and roughly the 27th/28th of July. The reason I say roughly is because it's an overnight thing, so it depends on where you live in the world. But during this 2-week period, we have a chance to close a big chapter or a long commitment or a long story in our lives. This is a once-a-year purge moon, something that you no longer wish to carry forward into the rest of your year. What is it you wish to extricate yourself from? What is it you wish to actually eliminate from your everyday that you know is either a thorn in your side, or maybe a habit or an association or some kind of routine that ultimately is disqualifying you from something that you desire? With a full moon in your first house, this could also be a time where a lot of you could be doing some serious social pruning or doing some major debt elimination even. But it's important to see what you can release, what you can cut yourself free from in this window. And finally, we also have a new moon, which is occurring in Leo, in that 8th house of shared resources, passive income, intimacy, and all that good stuff, on the 28th of the month, opening up a 2-week window period between the 28th of July and roughly the 10th/11th of August. Again, another overnight thing. A new moon is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and initiations, and this is the spawning of a new source of income for you or your family. Some of you may be finding that this is precipitating a new job opportunity for a romantic partner, or this could be the birth of a new financial venture or opportunity, which is going to start to show its worth very, very quickly, because let's not forget we've also got Mercury there at this point in time. And this new moon could also indicate perhaps a gift that keeps on giving, that is presenting to you outside of a lot of your normal revenue sources. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.